Hey everyone, so I need to tell you something that might actually shock you. You know how we're all obsessed with drinking water these days? 8 glasses a day, hydration challenges, those giant water bottles everyone carries around? Yeah, well, there's a dark side to this whole water obsession that nobody's talking about. And honestly, it could be destroying your kidneys right now. I'm going to share some pretty disturbing medical research with you today. And I promise this isn't clickbait. We're talking about real deaths, documented cases, and some seriously scary statistics that'll make you think twice about how you drink water. The fatal mistake everyone makes. Let me start with something that happened that really opened my eyes to this issue. In 2007, a radio station in California held a water drinking contest. The prize? A gaming console. One of the contestants, a mom trying to win it for her kids, drank nearly 2 gallons of water in just 2 hours. She died from water intoxication later that day. And this isn't some isolated freak accident. Here's what most people don't understand. Your kidneys are incredible organs. They filter about 200 quarts of blood every single day. That's roughly 50 gallons. But here's the catch that nobody tells you: your kidneys can only process about 1 liter of fluid per hour. Think about that for a second. 1 liter per hour. That's it. So when you chug a huge bottle of water all at once, or when you're trying to hit that arbitrary 2-liter daily goal by drinking massive amounts in short bursts, you're essentially overwhelming your body's natural filtration system. And the consequences? They're way more serious than you'd think. The science behind water intoxication. Now, let me explain what actually happens in your body when you drink too much water too fast. There's this condition called hyponatremia. Basically, it means your blood sodium levels drop dangerously low because you've diluted your blood with too much water. A systematic review of medical cases found that 13% of people who developed water intoxication actually died from it. 13%! That's not a tiny number. When we're talking about something as simple as drinking water, when sodium levels drop below 135 millimoles per liter, that's when things start going wrong. Your cells begin to swell, especially your brain cells. And when brain cells swell, they don't have anywhere to expand, because your skull is, well, rigid. This swelling increases pressure in your brain, leading to headaches, personality changes, confusion, and drowsiness at first. But as it gets worse, you can experience seizures, brain damage, coma, or death. The autopsy findings from people who died from water intoxication are genuinely disturbing. Common signs include an enlarged stomach, swollen intestines, pulmonary and cerebral edema, and a distended bladder. Your body literally swells from the inside out. Who's actually at risk? You might be thinking, okay, but I'm not drinking gallons of water in contests, so I'm fine, right? Not so fast. The people dying from this aren't just contest participants. Between 2008 and 2023, the U.S. military health system reported 1,812 cases of exercise-related hyponatremia among active service members. We're talking about fit, healthy, young people who were just following guidelines to stay hydrated during training. Military studies found that all of these cases involved drinking more than 5 liters, usually between 10 and 20 liters, over just a few hours. Marathon runners are another high-risk group. A study of the 2002 Boston Marathon found that 13% of finishers had hyponatremia and 0.6% had critical hyponatremia with sodium levels below 120. These are serious athletes who thought they were doing the right thing by staying hydrated. And here's something that really surprised me. Water intoxication was reported as the cause of death in 18.5% of schizophrenia in patients under the age of 53. People with certain psychiatric conditions can develop something called psychogenic polydipsia, where they feel compelled to drink excessive amounts of water. Even celebrities aren't immune. Actress Brooke Shields recently revealed she had a grand mal seizure caused by drinking too much water. British actor Anthony Andrews was unconscious and in intensive care for 3 days after drinking up to 8 liters daily during a theatrical performance. The 2-liter myth. Now, let's talk about this whole drink 8 glasses of water a day thing. Where did that even come from? Turns out, it's based on a misinterpretation of a decades-old recommendation that didn't account for water we get from food. The Centers for Disease Control actually states, there are no official guidelines about how much water a person needs to drink each day. It depends on your body weight, activity level, climate, and individual health conditions. So this one-size-fits-all approach, it's nonsense. Your kidneys filter about 7 liters of blood per hour, which adds up to 170 liters per day. Given that you only have about 5 liters of blood total, that means your kidneys filter your entire blood volume about 35 times daily. They're already working incredibly hard. You don't need to force extra water through them unnecessarily. The military learned this the hard way. The military actually had to completely revise their hydration guidelines. After several deaths, one Army basic trainee died from acute water intoxication, and the tragedy was compounded by the fact that his symptoms were misinterpreted as dehydration and heat injury, so they kept giving him more water. This continued until catastrophic cerebral and pulmonary edema developed. After reviewing these cases, the U.S. Army now recommends consuming no more than 1 to 1.5 liters of water per hour during heavy sweating. That's their official guideline now. Not endless chugging, not 2-liter bottles downed in one go. Measured, controlled intake. One particularly tragic case involved a soldier who consumed almost 13 liters of water during a 40-kilometer march in hot weather. He died, while his peers who drank closer to 10 liters survived. The excess water consumption didn't prevent heat injury. It caused a fatal outcome. What this means for you. Look, I'm not saying you shouldn't drink water. Obviously, you need to stay hydrated. But the way most people approach hydration is fundamentally wrong and potentially dangerous. Here's what you need to understand. Your kidneys are already filtering an enormous amount of fluid every single day. They filter about 200 quarts of blood to produce approximately 1 to 2 quarts of urine, while the remaining 198 quarts of fluid get reused by your body. This is an incredibly efficient system that doesn't need you forcing extra water through it. Based on some arbitrary internet challenge, the medical evidence is clear: drinking water isn't a competition. It's not about hitting some magic number. And chugging large amounts quickly can actually be lethal. The median water intake in documented cases of water intoxication was 8 liters per day, with a mean serum sodium level of 118 millimoles per liter. Think about marathon runners who have those water stations every few kilometers. They don't give you a huge bottle and tell you to chug it all. They give you a small cup. That's deliberate. Sports drinks don't prevent hyponatremia. Either, research showed that runners who chose sports drinks were just as likely to develop low sodium as those who chose water. The issue isn't what you drink, it's how much and how fast. How to actually drink water safely. So what should you do? First, stop obsessing over hitting a specific daily water intake goal. Your body has a built-in mechanism for telling you when you need water. It's called thirst. Revolutionary concept, I know. Medical experts recommend spacing out your water intake and never exceeding about 1 liter per hour. If you're exercising heavily or in extreme heat, make sure you're replacing electrolytes, not just water. Salt isn't your enemy in these situations. It's essential. Pay attention to your urine. If it's very pale or clear, you're probably drinking too much. If it's dark yellow or amber, you might need more water. But these are general guidelines. Your body is unique. And here's something most people don't consider if you have any kidney problems: heart failure, liver disease, or certain psychiatric conditions. You need to be especially careful about water intake. In these cases, excess water isn't just inefficient, it's actively harmful. Talk to your doctor about what's appropriate for you specifically. The bottom line: the takeaway here isn't that water is dangerous. Water is essential for life. But the modern obsession with extreme hydration, chugging massive amounts, and forcing yourself to drink when you're not thirsty, that can absolutely damage your kidneys and, in severe cases, kill you. Your kidneys are already performing an incredible feat every single day, filtering your blood dozens of times over. They don't need you to help them by overwhelming them with more water than they can process. Respect your body's limits. Drink when you're thirsty, space out your intake, and stop treating hydration like it's a competitive sport. Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't to drink the most water, it's to be healthy. And sometimes, being healthy means knowing when enough is enough. Your kidneys will thank you for it. Stay safe out there, and remember, moderation applies to everything, even things that are supposedly good for you.